Hello everyone and welcome back. I'm Duke Silver. Today we are going to be playing some Phoenix Angel. We start off with a couple dwarfs here in the shop, which is not ideal for Phoenix Angel. I feel like you want to be building into a good comp of some kind with Phoenix Angel, just to get the most out of her hero power here. We do end up with a Cindy here though, which we are going to take with the Genie Swish that we locked, and we get to roll the dice onto a Baby Root there, making a fantastic 2.1. And we kept this crafty locked as well. Just because, I mean, we took the bossy anyways, we might as well take the crafty. And honestly, crafty with this pair of Baby Roots and a Cindy now, looking even better than it was when we initially locked. And yeah, we have a decent amount of stats here. We make very short work of this horseman. Looks like they went for a 4 glory there instead of a kidnap, which you normally would on 2.2, just because like the gold works out better that way. We could take the daggers here. We got the Princess Peep with our hero power for level 3, and there's also another Princess Peep in the shop. But rather than like risk getting a bad combat and losing our daggers, we can also just take this Fountain of Youth, which still makes the tokens bigger. And on 3.0, I think it's still absolutely fine here. And also because we have crafty, like we don't want too many temporary treasures, right? We want to be able to keep our stats on crafty if we can help it. There's a fair amount of stats on the Fates board, pretty expected on 3.0 here. Once again, but I mean, we do have a lot of summons with extra power here, which ends up being a little bit too much for them, as they are playing technically down units because they get the triple early. And yeah, with this pair of peeps, I think we're just gonna take a pretty easy good witch here. I mean, just like the peeps in front of it replace themselves with a good character, so it's just like they serve as black cats with upside here, basically in front of the good witch. We take a roll. We're looking for a spell to cast. We do find a magic research. We're just deciding which one to put it on. I think it's going to be the crafty here. Crafty 6th round, probably longer term than a lot of these units, and we don't really want to put it on the peep because we want it to die. So yeah, it can make combat a little bit awkward if you get your peeps too large, and then for some reason like your attacks get down to your support, and then if your support's gone, then the tokens are a lot less effective in front of it. We're on 3.2, so we're happy to jam an experience spell. This is the power of Phoenix Angel, being able to take XP spells, which turn into tempo, as we got a free Juliet there. We essentially spent 4 gold on our Juliet plus an experience, so pretty huge value there. As we're pretty happy to have a Juliet anyways. It's an 8/8 here. There is a greedy here, which we're looking at. I think we are going to take the greedy. I don't think we're going to lock for the other dwarves though. Again, we kind of want to be in good, so I mean, but the greedy with the golden Baby Root is just a little too tempting, especially on 3.2 when we can potentially get a fair amount of value here. And we're definitely going to get a couple dollars out of the greedy here. That's $2 there. And yeah, we don't get the third dollar, but we do win and take their pig gold, so that's an extra dollar as well. So we have 11 gold to work with here on 4.0. We're going to take the 6/4 court wizard. We've got 3 royals up front and ones that we want to be attacked into, the peeps. Excuse me. And then also we get to pick up a Romeo. We might as well. We've already got the Juliet, and again, it works with the court wizard pretty well. There's a triple for our Princess Peep, which is good. Like, I mean, level 3 treasures are great, and yeah, we get hat and ball here together. I mean, it does make us a little bit weaker just because it's 1 less royal up front and like 1 less token generator, but we should take the hat here. But I think we do speculate on the ball, but so I think that's probably wrong in hindsight here. But that's what we do go with. So yeah, we end up with a crystal ball, and we don't really have a lot of options for as far as like avenues towards a level 3 treasure for like a hat or a level 4 treasure even really. We've got a couple 4s and like 1 3 or a couple 3s just like solo, which it's not great, but we are close to 5, so getting to level 5 and finding an Aeon is also an option for this crystal ball. And with the court wizard, I don't mind scaling court wizard with an Aeon if we can get there as well. We do have to get there though. There's a 4/4 Lady of the Lake, which is pretty large. I consider the Spellweaver just because we have this Crystal Ball. And we have the Ghost Fight, so we can be a little bit greedy with this turn. We don't want to be too greedy, but... we cast the Shard. It's basically free. We're not going to play the Baby Root anymore anyways. And then we're going to take another Experience spell, which is going to get us right to 5. And we're going to put we're going to get our free Robin Wood and put that into play, as well as we had another Romeo in the shop, which we were happy to take another 3-pair here. That's another shot at Hat, or treasure map at this point, potentially. We win the combat because we were against the Ghost, of course, and that puts us up 5.2 with another Experience spell, so we just immediately jam it, and yeah, now we're 4 XP up, and we get a free Bearstein. And yeah, Bearstein pretty good with this Princess Peep as well. A fair amount of stats if we can get the board space for it. So at this point we have a choice. I mean, in general, I don't really like playing Bearstein too much if I can. It's just like, it's very scammable, but like it can be powerful when the pieces do come together. We only have 1 summon unit right now, so I'm not necessarily looking to like full commit to a Bearstein build, even though we got it early. It does offer us a decent amount of tempo here though. And yeah, we make pretty short work of second place board. Goldilocks. There's another Bearstein, which is a little, like I said, I don't really love full committing for the Bearstein, but we do take it. I mean, it's a level 6 pair as well, so that there's some value there. And there's this Aeon in the shop, which again, like forcing this Crystal Ball is probably worse than full committing to this Bearstein, but that is kind of where my head's at this point. In hindsight, I definitely think it's a mistake, but while I was playing this game, again, that's just kind of where I was at. We do need to take this Herc first, though. We got to get this level 6 treasure if we can, but we are going to keep the Aeon locked, which is again not advisable. Even if it is only 4.2 right now, or sorry, 5.0. Yeah, it's 5.0 right now. So like it's not like super late for an Aeon necessarily. But we are down to top 4 on 5.0, so like the lobby is aggressive, and like being like, you can, if there's a bunch of like kind of straggling boards on the in play still, like you can maybe get away with an Aeon, but I think in this situation, like everyone's going to be pretty strong, so trying to get some Aeon slays going with your Crystal Ball with no spell doubler is definitely not what you should be doing here. I guess what I'm trying to say is don't try this at home, kids. Something to that effect. We took the Aeon, so I mean we would like to try and find some targeted spells for the Aeon if we can. Gigantify, not the one that we want though. Plus 10 health, not helping us slay too much. So we are going to roll past this, and then we find a shop that has a Wombat plus a Croc in it. And I mean, I'm a sucker for a Wombat and a Croc, so we actually did lock that. It took a little bit long, or took a little while for me to decide to lock that, so I just had it take place during the cut there. But also, this is a Pied Piper with a Summoning Portal and a Golden Pumpkin, so like I said, opponents are going to be strong with the frequency that people died in this combat. It's a 5.1 turn that we're down to top 3 on 5.2 here. So again, really fast lobby, really strong opponents here. So greeting the Aeon, definitely not what we want, and we decided to just scrap the Aeon, which is definitely the correct play. And yeah, we take a Wombat and a Croc. With this double Bearstein, the amount of stats that we're going to get on the Wombat is going to translate to a lot of stats on board here. Herc is taking his time though, but yeah, so we get to go when the Croc pops out. It's an 11/11, so its stats get doubled twice, which doesn't mean that like they get doubled and then doubled again. It just means like the base stats get doubled 2 different times and then added together, if that makes sense. And it's a little bit can be kind of confusing, just like because like both Bearstein say double the animal stats when it gets summoned, so that's why it goes from an 11/11 to 33, because it's getting plus 11/11 twice, right? All right, there's a Time Flies, and again, like it took me a little bit or sorry, we're gonna take this this Echo Wood first, and it took me a little bit too long to get to this, but we did end up selling for the time fly there. It was like right before the end of the turn, as you can see it getting summoned there. So I didn't want to have the timer just tick down until we did that. So, and yeah, once again the Wombat's putting out a decent amount of stats. I mean, summoning an animal off the enhanced Wombats is the dream, but we still get a ton of stats even with our limited amount of summons here with our Echo Wood. Also, the Echo Wood is faded. We almost beat this World Tree player, but unfortunately they get just one too many attacks. Alright, it's going to be an easy Singing Sword here. Singing Sword, of course, is going to just like enhance the stats of all the things in the front row, and all the summons that we get are just going to get very, very large with the double Bearstein here. There's the Echo Wood. We didn't even need the third faded copy. We're going to lock it here. We're not going to take it, though. We would have to sell and play down, or play Time Flies on board or something. And we don't necessarily want to do that, so we just take another peep, and then we lock the Echo Wood for next turn. I mean, of course, getting another level 6 treasure would be really, really nice, but we can be a little bit patient here. Our board is pretty strong. We don't need the treasure to stabilize or anything. Fortunately, opponent does not get to steal any summons from us, which is good. Because, I mean, just adding to that summoning portal is not necessarily what we want here. And yeah, our Bearsteins go down. We've got just the Echo Wood left. Unfortunately, the Echo Wood is just big enough to survive another Siren attack and clean up the rest of that combat, and we get the win there. Thankfully, they didn't get any hard scam out of their pumpkin anyhow. And the summoning portal stats were just not quite enough. All right. So yeah, it's between Mimic and Spear, and I mean the Mimic Singing Sword is just going to add so much attack to the front of our board here that we're just going to go for that. The Spear is less good with it's good with like Pumpkin, because you just want to put a bunch of summons on them, but like the fact that we're getting a bunch of stats on summon, like the Spear just doesn't really affect those. So getting basically a second Singing Sword is just going to do a little bit more here. And because we have the Ghost Flight, we know they're not that strong, and we can use all this board space. So we just go down 2 characters here and take the Bearstein triple, and then we get out of Ambrosia, and of course pick up the Mimic Phoenix Feather, which is going to be phenomenal on our Echo Wood. For this turn though, it did double summon our Croc, which do both Crocs, or all 3 Crocs do have Wombats in it. So that's a neat little interaction as well. I mean, it's only good when we're playing down. So if that gets attacked into first, yeah, then that's bad news for us in general. We took a Copycat, which is like a little bit cute. We're heads up against this pumpkin or this Pied Piper player with the Golden Pumpkin and Summoning Portal. We're basically hoping to just kind of double dip on this Wombats. We're hoping that we can attack first with the Copycat and summon that Wombats. Alright, we get down to 2 gold here, and there's a Black Cat, and I mean, even a Black Cat is like kind of a big threat for us here, so we do actually take the Black Cat. It looks like they're also trying to be trees. I think they'd probably be more suited to just going for like a Doom. Like a Doom Breath would be so much better against us here. I mean, we're not going to complain, but they do have a lot of pumpkins. They got 2 regular pumpkins on top of their upgraded pumpkin now, so that's a lot of summoning portal stats. So we do have to avoid like the hard scam on the Echo Wood. But yeah, if there's just stats out of their pumpkin, which it is, then we're very, very good. I mean, as long as they don't get to steal our Echo Wood anyways. This Mimic Feather is gonna resummon our Echo Wood twice and do a good chunk of damage. All right, yeah, we're out of the Copycat. I mean, it just takes way too long for the attack to get there, so I just don't think it's necessarily worth it. And also we want to get as much board space as we can here. So we did put our Peep to 5, and we bought another Wombat there. Fortunately, our Peep does get attacked into before it has any board space here, which is kind of the reason we put 1 to 5, because we just want to be able to get as much value out of our summons as possible with this golden Bearstein. And speaking of Bearstein, our Wombat summons a Bearstein, and it gets it gets very large, which I don't know why. It's very funny to me when Bearstein gets summoned by wombats and gets enhanced by another Bearstein. It's just yeah. Again, I don't know what it is. It's just very funny to me. And yeah, our Echo just gets so many stats here that they don't even pop it the first time. They don't get any hard scam out of their pumpkins, which is incredibly fortunate for us. And they didn't end up playing any Medusas or Doom Breaths here. So just on raw stats, our Bearstein is just better than the Pumpkin Portal. So yeah, there we have it. Some very, very large summons, and Bearstein comes out on top in the battle of the summons here. But yeah, let me know if you enjoyed this. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe, do all the fun stuff that helps the algorithm. I would very, very much appreciate that. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I will see you tomorrow.